It was supposed to be a light-hearted evening, just a girls' night out with my closest friends at a cozy wine bar downtown. We had been planning it for weeks, and my husband, Daniel, encouraged me to go. He even said with a smile, "Go have fun, you deserve it. I'll pick you up after." It felt good, honestly, like I had someone steady waiting for me, someone who supported me. The night started beautifully. The music was soft, the wine flowed, and laughter echoed around our little table. My friends teased each other about their husbands, boyfriends, and dating apps. It was all fun until I let my mouth get the better of me. We were talking about loyalty, about how hard relationships could be. I don't even know why I said it. Maybe I was trying to get a laugh, maybe I was showing off, maybe I just wanted to sound carefree, but I leaned back in my chair, swirled my glass, and said with a grin, "Well, if Daniel ever slips up, I guess I'll just find myself a younger man to keep me entertained." The table roared with laughter. My best friend nearly spit her drink, another clapped her hands like I'd just delivered the best punchline of the night. And for a moment, I felt admired. Like I was the fun one, the bold one. But then I noticed the silence behind me. I turned. And there was Daniel, standing in the doorway of the bar, having arrived early to surprise me. His face was unreadable, his eyes locked on mine, but I could feel the weight of what he had heard. My laugh died in my throat. The other women fell quiet, their giggles fading as they realized he'd caught the worst possible line. "Daniel," I started, setting my glass down too quickly. "I was just joking." But he didn't smile. He didn't even move closer. He just shook his head once, slowly, like someone confirming the final piece of a puzzle. "A joke," he repeated, his voice calm but cold. "Funny how often the truth hides in those." And then he walked out. I rushed after him, my heels clicking on the floor, my heart pounding. Outside, he was already unlocking the car. "Daniel, please, it was nothing. Just a joke in front of the girls." I grabbed his arm, desperate for him to look at me. He finally turned, and what I saw in his eyes terrified me more than anger. It was disappointment. "You think that's funny? That your husband, the man who's built a life with you, can just be tossed aside for some joke about a younger guy? You humiliate me in front of strangers, and you expect me to laugh with you?" I froze. I hadn't thought of it like that. To me, it was just words, but to him, it was public betrayal and insult wrapped in humor. "Daniel, you know I love you," I whispered, my throat tight. "I'd never mean that." He stared at me for what felt like an eternity, then opened the car door. "Sometimes the things people say when they're trying to be funny reveal who they really are," he said quietly. "I don't think you realize how small you made me feel tonight. And I don't think I can keep standing next to someone who laughs at my expense." And with that, he drove away, leaving me on the curb, my friends watching awkwardly from the bar's doorway. The walk home was the longest of my life. My phone buzzed with messages from the girls. "He'll calm down. He knows it was just a joke. Don't worry." But deep inside, I knew this was different. This wasn't just a fight. This was the breaking point I hadn't seen coming. The next morning, Daniel wasn't home. His closet was half empty. A note sat on the kitchen table in his neat handwriting. "I need space. Words matter. Until you understand that, I don't think we can move forward." I sat there with the note trembling in my hands, realizing that in one careless moment, one thoughtless attempt to impress my friends, I had pushed away the man who had always stood by me. The days turned into weeks. He didn't come back. My calls went unanswered, my texts left unread. I even went to his office once, but his secretary politely told me he was unavailable. At first, I was angry. How could he leave over one stupid joke? But then, replaying the scene over and over in my head, I began to see it from his side. I hadn't just made a joke, I had made him the punchline in front of others. I had stripped away his dignity with a laugh. And worse, I had shown that I valued the approval of my friends more than the respect of my husband. People think betrayal is always about cheating, about secrets and lies. But sometimes, betrayal is smaller, quieter. It's in the words you throw out carelessly, not realizing they cut deeper than a knife. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that Daniel had moved in with his brother across town. He wasn't dating anyone, but he wasn't coming back either. He had drawn his line, and my joke had crossed it. I still see my friends sometimes, but it's not the same. They don't laugh as easily with me anymore. Maybe they see the regret in my eyes, or maybe they remember the way Daniel looked that night, like a man realizing the woman beside him didn't value him the way she should. I live with the silence now. The kind of silence that reminds you every day that once, in a moment of thoughtless laughter, you lost something you can never get back. And every time I hear someone say, "It was just a joke," I flinch, because I know better than anyone that sometimes, just a joke is enough to end everything.